All right, so today we're going to do a deep dive into a very interesting relationship. And I think a lot of our listeners probably know one half of this relationship very well, but maybe not so much the other
It's
half.
definitely a fascinating dynamic.
Yeah, so of course we're talking about Dolly Parton, the queen of country music, and her husband, Carl Dean. And, when I say Dolly Parton, you think the music, you think the movies, Dollywood, all that stuff.
The hair, the outfit.
The hair, right?
Exactly.
It's iconic.
Yeah, but when you think Carl Dean, it's a little bit more of a mystery. And kind of the question that really brings us here today is, what is it like being married to somebody who's such a huge global superstar while choosing to stay more or less completely, unknown?
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, it's almost like the opposite of what you would expect from somebody in that position.
Yeah, for sure.
You think about a lot of celebrity couples and the partners are often kind of trying to get their own piece of the limelight.
Yeah, they're trying to build their own brand or whatever.
Right.
Right, exactly. And Carl Dean seems perfectly content to just, be in the background.
Yeah, and from what little we know, I mean, he has his own thing, right? He's got his asphalt paving business,
Right.
and he seems to be very content with that and just sort of cherishing those quiet moments with Dolly at their home in Brentwood, Tennessee. And
Yeah, and it really makes you wonder what kind of personality, leads to that kind of choice.
yeah, does it take like a huge amount of self-confidence to be okay with that when you're married to somebody like Dolly Parton?
It seems like it would have to, right? I mean, you're constantly being compared to this, larger than life personality.
Right. And maybe there's just like a deep sense of self, or I don't know, something really interesting there.
Yeah, I mean, just a preference maybe for a simpler kind of life.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's so interesting. And we have to address this right out of the gate. We've seen a lot of these searches online asking, is Carl Dean dead?
Yeah.
I think it just goes to show you how quickly misinformation can spread,
Yep.
In this digital age and how powerful it is.
So
just for the record, Carl Dean is very much alive as of today, March 4th, 2025.
it's wild to think about how these rumors get started.
Totally. And it makes you think, how often are we encountering things online that, aren't actually true, and we just kind of take them at face value?
It's a good reminder to always, check your sources and be a little bit critical of what you see online.
Absolutely. So, okay, let's get back to this incredible couple. I mean, they met way back in 1964, which was just 2 years before they actually got married.
Wow.
And they've been together for over 50 years. I mean, that's longer than a lot of us have even been alive.
That's amazing.
It's really incredible. So what do you think are the secrets to such a lasting bond? Especially considering how different their lifestyles are.
Well, I think one thing that definitely stands out is this deep mutual respect that they have for each other.
Yeah, for sure.
Dolly's talked about how Carl gives her the space to be herself, to pursue her career and all of that. And she, in turn, respects his need for privacy.
Yeah, right. It's almost like they've each kind of carved out their own, specific space within this relationship, and they understand each other's boundaries, and they really respect them.
Totally. And maybe those differences, rather than being a source of conflict, actually strengthen their bond.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting. I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they kind of complement each other in ways that wouldn't be possible if they were more alike.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And it kind of makes you wonder, too, about, the whole idea of you need to have everything in common with your partner to have a successful relationship.
Right.
I mean, maybe sometimes it's actually about, appreciating those differences and seeing them as something that can, make the relationship stronger.
Totally. And, it's kind of funny to think about it like this, but maybe the secret to their success is that they're so different.
Yeah, it's kind of like, the classic idea of opposites attract.
Right. And it's definitely working for them.
Yeah, I mean, 50 years is that's the ultimate testament to a successful relationship. I mean, they've clearly figured something out. And speaking of figuring something out, it's interesting. There's really no information out there about whether or not they have any children.
That's true. Yeah, there are no sources.
Which is kind of surprising. When you think about somebody as famous as Dolly Parton.
Yeah, you'd think that would be something that would be more public knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. But it seems like they've really managed to keep that part of their lives totally private.
Yeah, it just goes to show how committed they are to maintaining those boundaries between their public and private lives.
Yeah, I mean, it's really impressive. And when you consider Dolly's just massive success, right? Her estimated net worth is somewhere in the hundreds of millions of dollars.
It's mind-boggling.
She's a household name. I mean, around the world, and yet Carl just seems completely unfazed by all of it.
Yeah, it's like he's just not interested in the fame and the fortune that comes with being married to somebody like Dolly.
Right, and it makes you wonder, too, do you think that ever causes any kind of friction between them, having such different approaches to fame?
I mean, it's definitely possible, right? Any long-term relationship is going to have its ups and downs.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think what they've shown is that the key is, open communication and a willingness to adapt and compromise.
Right. And I think that's something that a lot of couples can probably learn from.
Yeah, I mean, it's not about, trying to change each other. It's about understanding and accepting each other's differences.
Right. And it seems like that's something that Dolly and Carl have really mastered. It's almost like they've created this little world for themselves where they can just be themselves and shut out all the noise from the outside.
Yeah, I mean, Dolly's talked about how Carl, prefers to stay out of the limelight. He doesn't even go to a lot of her shows or events.
Yeah, she once said that he's like a quiet, sensitive soul, and she respects that.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I know, right? It's so refreshing to see a couple that's so comfortable with who they are.
Yeah.
Both individually and together.
Yeah, I mean, it's a real testament to the power of love and understanding.
And it kind of makes you wonder if maybe, their seemingly opposite personalities are actually the secret ingredient to their long-lasting love story.
It's definitely a possibility. I mean, they're not trying to fit into some kind of mold of what a celebrity couple should be. They're just being themselves, and it's clearly working for them.
So what can we really take away from this deep dive into Dolly and Carl's very unique relationship?
Well, I think one of the biggest takeaways is that love can really flourish anywhere, even in the most unexpected places.
Yeah.
Even amidst all the, the pressures of fame and fortune.
Right. And it really underscores the importance of individuality and mutual respect, and being comfortable with setting boundaries in a relationship.
And I think it's also a reminder that lasting love isn't about, trying to conform to some kind of societal expectation. Yeah. It's about finding what truly works for you and your partner, even if it means, going against the grain.
And here's a final thought for you. If Dolly and Carl's approach to privacy and fame were a model for other celebrity couples, how do you think that would change the way we perceive relationships, in this world that's so obsessed with social media and constant exposure?
I mean, I think it would be a really interesting shift.
Yeah.
It would definitely challenge the way we think about, what it means to be a couple in the public eye.
Yeah. And it might even lead to, healthier, more authentic relationships.
Totally. It's something to think about for sure.
That's it for today's deep dive. But keep that thought in mind as you navigate your own relationships out there in the world.
Definitely lots to consider.
We'll see you next time.
See you.
Bye.
Today is your lucky day. Today is the day that our $3 website works for you, paying you directly to your PayPal daily. Imagine $3 ongoing continuous payments to your PayPal account. Imagine falling asleep and waking up to $300 in your PayPal account. How would this make you feel? How could this help you? What bills could you pay? What kind of fun could you have? What does that retirement look like now? All for a one-time payment of $3. This website is DFY done for you, fully built and completely hosted, and never stops collecting payments for you. You have spent $3 on coffee on a regular, but that coffee won't help you create multiple streams of income. Click the link below.